scream and shout. Let's rock, 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 me rock. We're gonna rock till we pop. We're gonna rock till we drop. We're gonna rock this town, rock this place apart.
Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. We are doing the Good News Weekly show. I think this is the 7th one, something like that. Anywho, and we are also, that was Rock This Town by the Stray Cats, and it's actually the band name in that particular case that is the key into the stories that are coming up. And let's go ahead and get right into those, as that's probably a good idea to get started, right? There you go. Japan may be setting their perfect example for office work spaces with team members that need to calm down. Several Japanese companies and firms have started encouraging employees to bring their pets to work in order to reduce stress. The policy was first kicked off by Tokyo-based IT company Furry. There are now 9 furry office companions who keep the workers cheerful. Additionally, Fukuda, the owner, awards $45 bonuses for any employee who adopts a rescue cat. Though the feline lover admits that sometimes a cat may accidentally cut off a phone call or, power down a computer, Furry's employees are healed by the cat's paw prints on every single page. Apollo the pit bull may be a big old sweetheart, but it took a long time for anyone to recognize it. For 6 months, the pup languished in an animal shelter without ever finding a forever home. Deemed too energetic to be adopted, he was eventually handed the death sentence. One desperate shelter worker wasn't about to let that innocent dog be euthanized, so she called the Washington State Narcotics Canine Trainer and asked if Apollo could be assessed as a drug-sniffing dog. An officer came by the shelter and ran some drills with Apollo. As it turns out, the pit bull was exceptionally talented. The officer then took charge of Apollo and brought him to one of the kennels in the Department of Corrections. The pup continued to be left in the kennel for more than 12 months, as police officers usually prefer German Shepherds as drug dogs. Since pit bulls are generally given a bad rap, no one wanted Apollo. That is, until the Tukwila Police Department of Washington State found themselves in need of a reliable canine. We contacted the trainer last summer while searching for a canine, and she told us about Apollo. She stated that she was a high-drive dog, and he would finish first in narcotics school if someone would give him a chance. All he needed was a chance. The trainer was right. Apollo graduated from narcotics with flying colors. Now he is the beloved mascot of the Tukwila law enforcement team. Happy ending, right? Most of us aren't really sure how we will be remembered after we die, but after this week, we're positive that Daryl Mutz is going to be remembered as an extraordinarily generous man. That's because he left $275,000 of his estate to an animal shelter he wasn't even affiliated with. Though the late 83-year-old passed away 3 years ago, the new Westminster Animal Shelter of British Columbia was only recently informed that they would be receiving the cash. A 7-year-old in Georgia got the chance to live out his space dreams with a little help from virtual reality and Make-A-Wish. Zayden Wright of Augusta was born with congenital heart disease and has had 4 open heart surgeries and 38 heart catheterizations in his short life. Throughout every ordeal, Zayden has maintained a cheerful attitude, vivid imagination, and enthusiasm for all things outer space. Make-A-Wish Georgia surprised the little boy with a trip to space. The organization partnered with Walk West to make this wish to go to Saturn in a red rocket ship possible through virtual reality. A potential cure for type 1 diabetes looms on the horizon, and the novel approach would also allow type 2 diabetics to stop insulin shots. The treatment totally cured diabetes in mice for an entire year without any side effects. The discovery, made at UT Health San Antonio, works by increasing the types of pancreatic cells that secrete insulin. Basically, the therapy is accomplished by a technique called gene transfer. A virus is used as a vector or carrier to introduce selected genes into the pancreas. These genes become incorporated and cause digestive enzymes and other cell types to actually make insulin, unlike the beta cells that are supposed to make the insulin, which the body currently rejects if you're a type 1 diabetic. The other cell populations of the pancreas coexist with the body's immune system, so you don't have a lot of the same problems that would typically exist. Be My Eyes. It's a Danish-developed smartphone app that connects via a live streaming camera to thousands of helpers. And what this is actually for is people that are sight impaired, that sometimes need visual to find out that they're sure about something, and like the temperature on your oven, right? It's got to be set to 350, but you can't actually tell, and it's digital, and you can't tell how many clicks you did or whatever. Or in the case of maybe you've got 2 cans of food, one happens to be dog food and one's actually a can of soup, it gives you the ability to actually use someone's eyes through this app and your camera and tell you what exactly that can is in your hand. Very cool. Construction began in Chile on Friday, the 26th of May, on the European Extremely Large Telescope, which, when completed, will be the world's largest optical telescope, some 5 times larger than the top observing instruments in use today. Located on a 3,000-meter high mountain in the middle of the Atacama Desert, it is due to begin operating in 2024. The dry atmosphere of Atacama provides as near-perfect observing conditions, with some 70% of the world's astronomical infrastructure slated to be located in the region by the 2020s. Oops. On the 23rd of May, the Associated Press reported miners have found a 4.3 foot or 1.3 meter tall emerald weighing more than 600 pounds in Brazil's northeastern state of Bahia. Saulo Santana of Brazil's National Mineral Production Department said the emerald was found about 20 days ago. Santana said it was the second largest emerald found in the region. The first one was 44 pounds heavier and was valued at more than $300 million when it was unearthed back in 2001. A 98-year-old Californian woman has made it her mission to send letters to the heroes serving this country overseas. It started years ago with her son, who served in the Vietnam War. At the time, when most conversations are instant, Aline Cooper proves the art of letter writing isn't lost. She started sending letters to America's troops back during World War II. They've gone to soldiers in harm's way and the wounded in hospitals. All of Cooper's letters are at least 4 pages long, and she has ways to keep track. She actually can tell that no 2 are different. What Cooper's serving up in her kitchen is comfort food for the soldier's soul, and they can't seem to get enough. They've sent her commendations and even flags from their bases. It's pretty cool. Environmental Conservation Officer Andrew McCormick and wildlife biologist got back on the trail of this bear here on the 19th of May. And after tracking him for 6 hours, they finally managed to capture him. The bear, which lived with a bucket on its head for at least 2 to 3.5 weeks, or at least 3.5 weeks, I guess, was tranquilized by McCormick, who removed the bucket and kept him in a bear trap overnight so it could recover. According to the DEC, the bear showed no ill effects of having a bucket that was suspected of containing pretzels or cheese puffs on his head for so long, and he shot out of that trap like a cannon when he was released. DEC took the opportunity to remind people that you should always make sure you keep your trash in a sealed garbage can or some type of garbage shed that bears can't get into for the safety of the bears. All right, well, Good News Weekly. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Going out with Peter Schilling, Major Tom, and it's almost more to do with the lyrics, unless you really know Peter Schilling. He's a very, very interesting artist from, I want to say the 80s, but it might have been prior to that. Who knows? Anywho, going out with Peter Schilling, Major Tom, Earth Below Us.
We're standing by. There's no reply.